Pressure makes people get going. Pressure is how the coal becomes a diamond. So you guys go after it. It's worth it. You know, we were regional or division leaders and regional leaders paying over $900 of office rent with the nanny. And I promise you it was worth it. Because when we went RVP, it was easy. It was a piece of cake. We knew exactly how it was. We knew expenses and we weren't afraid of them. So don't be afraid to invest in your business. It is worth it.
Focus on hitting your goals in every area of your business. Remember, the universe rewards the bold. A leader has to take the risks.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Excited to be here. Good morning. Good morning. It is Friday morning Leadership Academy, and boy, do we have a special guest for you. We're going to get right down to it because I know that she's got a lot of great stuff to share, and just want to remind Myrna that this is our Leadership Academy. So I don't want you to hold back at all. I want you to tell it like it is. Tell us all the good and tell us all the bad. All right. We want to know it all because I think we all deserve to hear the truth. So that way we can be as powerful as we need to be to go get what we need to go get. And so with that said, I'd like to introduce Myrna and Juan. They've been in the business for 16 years. They're senior vice presidents now. NSDs this month, so they are growing like crazy. They're doing amazing things. I've known this amazing couple for a very, very long time and always been in awe. They're big base shop people. They're big base shop thinkers, just like we are. They came from our same lineage. Their uplines are the Gerfines, and of course, you know, came from the Youngers and the Susies and the Lamarcks and the Sharps and all the great leaders. $600,000 in rolling 12. I'm sure she's going to talk about her son. I mean, how cool is this, man? They got a son that's like in his early 20s making like $200,000 a year now. I mean, this is badass, right? This is a badass story. Another badass story about how Primerica is the greatest opportunity on the planet. Please help me welcome the great Myrna Guerrero.
Thank you so much, Daniel and Karma. I am so blessed, and it's such an honor to be able to be on the call with you. You know, when we started the business, you guys were already having a ton of success. I remember looking at you guys and always saying, man, I can't wait to get to meet them, to be their friends. And, you know, with time, that's exactly what happens. As you build a business, you get all your heroes in business become your partners in business and your friends in business. And I am so blessed. I love getting together with you guys at events and with Primerica events. We have so much fun together. When we were in Cabo, it was a blast. And you guys are just phenomenal people. And what the thing that I love about Karma and Daniel is that they're truth tellers. And that's who we are. Juan and I are very honest. We tell you guys the truth. And the reason we do that is because we want you to be successful. So one of the things that you could never take anything personal, the things that we share with you guys, you can't say like, man, what was that? What got into them? There is times that you need to hear the truth. And the truth is not always going to be fun. You know, I had an 8 a.m. meeting with our team, and, you know, usually it's at 9, but I said, hey, we're moving it to 8 a.m. because I want to be on this call. And you realize that a lot of the people that are my full-timers, just like you guys, the Leadership Academy wasn't ready. So what happens when a situation like that, you have to be a little bit tough. Because you guys are all in the grind. Most of you if you look at Karma and you look at Daniel, look at how sharp they look. I guarantee you they already worked out. They got ready. They're looking great. Why? Because they want to beat the day, and it doesn't matter how much money they have. They understand that that's what it takes to get to 2 million. They're millionaires a long time ago. They should have already got their $1 million ring. but they're going to get it on that code that they need to get it, and it's going to happen this year because they deserve it, and you guys need to believe that they deserve it. You need to believe that you have to work your tail off to get them to $1 million, because when you do that, somebody's going to do it for you. I know if I was in their base shop, I would be killing it to make sure they'd be $1 million. Like, they would have been a millionaire a long time ago, because that's what we did for Neo and Vicky. We freaking worked our tails off. We were in the base shop, and I'll kind of go through my personal story. We were in the base shop for 5 years, and for 3 years straight, we did over 100,000 in premium. And Juan and I, like Mario and Viviana Munoz, always took personal responsibility to make sure they never went under. They were regional vice presidents making $600,000, and we understood that we had to do it. And when our base shop was at 80 grand and we had 1 day left, Juan and I would go write 15,000 in personal premium in 1 to 2 days, because we wanted to make sure Neo and Vicky went over 100 grand in the base. So those are things that you have to have in your gut, in your belly, in your heart, to want to push your upline up, not to get feel mediocrity is okay, because it's not. You got to go get yours. So that's how we started in the base for 5 years. And since day one, when we joined the business, we would tell Neo and Vicky that we were going to move to Arizona. So they told us, just wait till you learn the business. So it took us 5 years to learn the business. I was 29 years old when I started the business. And you know what's funny? That I was so naive. I was a 29-year-old, Juan was 31, and we were a naive couple that was coachable and didn't question a lot of the business. The stuff that Neo and Vicky told us, and Mario and Viviana, we just went for it. There might have been a few times that I didn't understand, and I would say, hey, why did you guys do that? Can you explain to me? And they did. But after that, I was done. I never took it personal. I continue to love them and push them up, because thanks to the way they are and their leadership, we are who we are now. And we've had the success. And that's one thing you have to always understand, that the reason you're in business and continue to stay in business, yes, it has to do with you, but I also believe that a lot has to do with with our coaches. Because our coaches, when we don't believe in ourselves, they believe in us. They call us on that right moment when we're feeling down, and boom, we're ready to keep going again. You know, and I think that's really crucial. Now, are our coaches perfect? Are we perfect? Absolutely not. But we do have our heart on our sleeve. So then I'll go back to my story. We moved to Arizona after becoming regional vice presidents. I had my 6 and 63. I did not have my 26. So I was an RVP, not knowing I couldn't get in my own office. So we're looking for offices, and we see an office. We're looking at a building, and next to that building is another couple that's an RVP, or they're NSDs now. They have their office there. We walk in and we're like, hey, we're in Primerica. Like, we're so freaking excited. Like, we gave up our whole team. We gave up about 50 license codes. We had a regional leader doing over 25,000 in premium, divisions doing over 20,000. I mean, we left a great replacement. So we go out, and I tell Neil, take everybody, because I know how hard it is. Now through Zoom, you can build everywhere. So that's phenomenal. But when we were in the base shop, there was no Zoom. I mean, there might have been, but we didn't know about it. So all we did was build by meeting people, prospecting, one-on-one, getting them to meetings. So I knew that it was going to be really hard for me to keep building California and building Arizona. So I told Neil, take everybody. We're going to make it happen. We know how to personally produce. And I promise you, we're going to make you a very excited coach. We're going to make you proud. Because to me, it was very important to make my coaches proud. So then we moved out here. We start moving and going. And then we find out we can't get an office. So this guy, and you guys probably know him, Mark and Nubia and Soria, they were doing 5,000 in premium when we got into their base shop. Nobody had ever written 10,000. Nobody ever closed on the first night. I don't know if you guys close on the first night, but we do, right? Perfect. So nobody was doing that. So we went in there and we're writing 10 grand, and they're like, how the heck are these people doing it? They're just moved out from another state. They don't know anybody, and they're freaking writing 10,000 in personal premium. And we were doing anywhere from 10 to 18,000 personal until a few months later, we got a few directs that wanted to play with us. And then our business started to move from there. So what we did is we taught them how to do it. Neil would come out. He would come out and you know, it was crazy. He was coaching Mark and Nubia a little bit more than Juan and I, because he understood that environment was everything. He understood that he had to help their environment get big in order for us to get big. So you know what? And sometimes I didn't understand it. But at the end of the day, when he explained to me why he had to do that, I was okay with it. Mark and Nubia did over 100 grand. The regional leader went out at 80,000 in premium, and they were about to quit. They would take all our, like we have scripts on setting appointment scripts, and they were stealing everything from our desk. Like, dude, I'm going to make copies, right? And we were okay with it. We were taking them out prospecting so they can see how we prospected. So one of the things that you got to do is you got to be very selfless in this business. Selfless, but selfish. So selfless in teaching others, but selfish in wanting to work your tail off for you to be successful. Okay, so that's the way it works. So we moved out 3 months after joining. We recruited a lady, Anna Duran, who was a business owner, did my taxes. I was broke and I gave her $100 tip. You know, one thing I always listen to Jim Rohn that said, you always tip rich, like if you're rich. So she was like, wow, I've never gotten a tip like this. She joined my business. We went on 26 appointments. She's one of my regional vice presidents. We also met George Magaña. My husband met him at a Walmart. We got into their home. We recruited him and his wife, exploded their business as well. Another regional vice president with us. And out of those, we've got one replacement that's about to go RVP. The other one's already an RVP. And that RVP moved to Oregon and is doing 20 by 30,000 and moved a year ago. So it's amazing what you do and what can be done if you know how to work a business and know how to write personal production. So I think it's important you guys know, and I know Daniel and Karma knew how to do it and continue to know how to do it. Do they have to do it? No, they choose to do it if they want to. But the reality is now they got to duplicate and teach you guys how they did it. And you have to believe that what they're telling you is because they know what to do. They know, they did it. So that's what's exciting. One of the things you guys also need to understand that we are, as regional vice presidents, as builders of your guys' team and hierarchy, we got to correct you when you're wrong. And I think that's sometimes where people take it personal, but we do it to help you become successful. So we're going to correct you when you're going the wrong way, when you're going left and you should be going right, or where you should be going straight down the path and you're taking the wrong exit, right? So we're going to correct you. But you also need to understand that you guys are our babies and we are going to protect you like no other. You know, we could talk, like, let's say Juan and I could talk about our regional, but if anybody else does, they're going to be in trouble, right? Just like you guys could talk about your sisters or brothers, but if anybody else does, it's like, don't you dare talk about my brother and sister, right? I guarantee you, even with Karma and Daniel, if Daniel tries to tell Karma something about her sister, she's like, you do not have the right to talk about my sister. I could say, you just stay quiet, right? I do that with Juan all the time. When I talk about my sister or my brother and I want to share something that's in my heart, I always tell him, don't comment, okay? You just listen to me and that's it. Because sometimes if he says something, even though it's true, I don't want to hear it. It's my brother, my sister. So that's how it is. So that's how we are with you guys. You need to understand that that's how Karma and Daniel are. They're never going to talk about you guys with other people. They're freaking badass leaders. I've been with them. All they've ever done is push up every single one of their leaders, every single one of their RVPs. And there's RVPs that might not like them because what happens is we go RVP and we think we're freaking set, that we already know what to do, that we don't need our uplines. But the reality is we need our uplines even more. And if you guys understand that, you guys will be one, you guys will kick butt, and your business will go to the next level. So continue to believe in them even when you don't understand what they're telling you, because we are going to protect you guys because you guys are all our babies in business. And we're also going to direct you. We're going to direct you on the path to success. You guys understand that if you're successful, they're successful. And I believe that that's important. For every time you have a negative thought of your uplines, right away, scratch it off. Scratch that darn negative thought, because you got to think they want me to win. And the more naive you are, the more success you will have. I promise you, some of us act like we know everything, but if you knew everything, you'd be at $1 million in income. You'd be at $2 million in income. So you have to know. I guarantee you, Daniel still texts and talks to Hector Lamarck. Maybe not every day, but I guarantee you he still asks for help at time to time, because he understands that he needs that lighthouse. That's our lighthouse that's going to get him to $3 million, to $4 million. The more success they have, the more Hector Lamarck has. So it's amazing what we can do. So when your uplines call you, answer their call. Who cares what you're doing? Answer their call and say, hey, how's it going? You know what? I'm at a KT. Can I call you right back? And they're going to be okay with it. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make as full-timers and growing our business is that we stop calling or answering our uplines calls. And our uplines want us to be successful. And if they don't call you one day, don't think that there's a problem. Dude, they have a life. They have 2 beautiful kids. They have a beautiful house. I mean, if I'd be in their house, I don't know if I would want to do anything, right? I mean, you guys are so blessed that they're always on calls. Karma and Daniel are always posting, helping all of Primerica, helping the world with what's going on with this pandemic. They're still out there inspiring us. I see Karma's post and I'm always inspired. I'm like, man, she freaking inspires the heck out of me. Her thinking is at another level. Every time it's like, dude, don't look at it as this. Don't look at it as negative. And Daniel, the same thing, just always teaching, always showing you guys what he's doing and how he can help you guys be successful. I see a lot of phenomenal people on this call, and every single one of you has what it takes to be successful. Juan and I are not better than any of you. All we did is that we put our head down. And if I can help you guys with something else, is have a schedule the night before, know what you're doing. If you're a partnership, don't get in each other's way. Let's say, like, I'm going to go with Joanne and Alex, because I can see their names on here, Joanne and Alex Hernandez, right? Joanne, you need to know what you're going to be doing today, by last night, or by tonight, what you're going to do tomorrow, which is Saturday. Alex, the same thing. You guys get together at night and have your calendars and say, look, I'm going to talk to this many people. I'm going to do this. This is all the stuff that I'm going to do in business. And if you have children, you also spend quality time with your kids. I mean, the greatest thing is right now, everything is through Zoom. So you're able to, if your kids are running around and you're at an appointment through Zoom, let me tell you, if I'm a mom and I have small kids, I'm going to want to join your business. Why? Because you make it look real. It's real. It's like, wow, you know what? I apologize. You know, obviously I'm working through home right now. So sometimes the kids just, even if I tell them stay in the room, they're going to come out, right? So, and it's okay. Sometimes I have my grandbabies on my lap and they're saying hi to everybody on Zoom. And a lot of the moms that have small kids are like, oh my gosh, Myrna, that inspires me that I can do it. So and get on Zoom appointments every 30 minutes. There is such a simple way of doing it. You know that if you guys are struggling in recruiting, if you guys are struggling in your hierarchy in your base shop is not, but if you personally are, have a little tiny simple system that can get you doing it. I made up a really simple plan A, plan B, that if anybody does it, it's so freaking duplicatable that you guys can, every single one of you can recruit. You got to put your taste to it. You got to put your personal story into it, because I think people need to know where you came from, how skeptical you were, how scared you were, because I wanted to quit the first 5 months every day. Every day in my little brain, I would think, I want to quit. You know, I can't do this one. I just cannot do it. You know, I had a degree in accounting, so I went from an analytical numbers lady to a people person where I thought I didn't need any more friends but my family. And nobody in my family is in the business. So I definitely needed to meet people to be able to build a business. So look, we started when my son was 6, my daughter was 5, and my baby was 3. All 3 of them joined the business. Even though we worked hard, we had a live-in nanny. But I made sure we took them to school every morning. We picked them up from school and we had dinner with them. And that was enough for them to think that I was with them every day, all day long. And there was days like my parents or my nanny, she was off on the weekend. So Saturday, my parents took them. And Sunday, a lot of times they were like, we're not going to watch your kids all day. So I understood. I would set up appointments early in the morning or late in the afternoon. And if I didn't, they were with me a lot of the times, like delivering policies, meeting couples, because I wanted them to know that it was a family business. So we engaged them, maybe subconsciously, not realizing that they were going to end up doing the business, because all 3 of my kids said, we're not doing Primerica. Heck no, we're not freaking doing Primerica. But they saw our integrity, they saw how hardworking we were, and they saw the rewards of having success. The ability to be 16 years old and be able to buy them a brand new car. That's what you do when you're in Primerica and you have money. But when you work a job, you get them either a putter or you drive them to school till they graduate from high school and they buy their own car, right? I mean, that's how it is. So Primerica gave us that, that freedom and the income to be able to do that. So that's how they got started in 2015. And in June, my son went to the convention. I booked that convention. And that convention, there was a real young RVP that went over $1 million. So he got inspired. He got inspired to become the youngest millionaire. So he came back, and I was so freaking competitive that I did not let him beat me the first couple months. I mean, this kid got back, had no dress clothes, started buying slacks, and he had one polo shirt that said Desert Edge Baseball because he used to play baseball for his school. So he would go out there and meet people. We'd go out on KTs with him. He was prospecting doctors, lawyers, business owners, people that were making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I would have prospected these people. I would have been intimidated. But what happened is that we taught them to be colorblind. We taught them to feel confident of themselves. And I believe that's the biggest thing that Primerica gives you, the confidence to teach your kids to be confident. So, I mean, we'd go on appointments and I would ask, like, why did you give him your number? He's like 18 years old. He's, 18 and a half. And this is what they would say, because he had the guts to talk to me. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to give this kid an appointment. So we show up, we would close them. We recruited a bunch of them. Did they do anything? No, they were already successful. So most people that make $400,000 or $500,000, they struggle to start at $2,000 a month with us, right? And that was okay. But that got his confidence level to another level. Then in December, so Juan started in August. That's when he got his license. And then December, he recruited his girlfriend. They have been together since they were 14 and 15. So now they have 2 kids, they're married, and everything they've done has been through Primerica. So they're 22 now and 23. So gets her involved, and that month they write over $10,000 in premium. So that's why it's important to work as a partnership if you're a partner. Because even if sometimes you think, my wife doesn't want to do it, she's not going to put anything into it, I promise you, your wife is a beast. Your husband is a beast. They can take you to that next level. So they started writing $10,000 month in, month out. They've written $25,000, $28,000 in personal premium. Last month, they made over $25,000 in income, and he's 23 years old. And this month, he's at $2,000 away from $200,000 in income. Isn't that phenomenal? So it's amazing. My daughter, Sarah, joined the business with her husband, Lanai. They were high school sweethearts too, but they were boyfriend, girlfriend at 16 and 17. So my kids decided to get married young, just like Karma and Daniel, young, right? But hey, we've made it work. High school sweethearts, it works out, right? So they joined the business. She was the agent in the beginning. He passed all his licenses and they decided to switch their codes. And she was at 80,000 in income, but she couldn't pass her securities. And she's like, Mom, I now have a baby. I'm pregnant of my other one. Let's switch codes. So they switched codes maybe 7 months ago, and they went over their watch already. So they're supposed to go RVP this month, and their goal is to do over 50,000 in premium. But what a business, right? For you to have two, my third daughter, which is my 19-year-old, she did the business, was a district leader, was #1 district in one of our events, and then decided, Mom, this isn't for me. And I'm okay with that. She's got her own business. She's an esthetician. She loves it. She's super successful at it. And that's how business is. Not every one of your childs is going to do it, but 2 out of 3 is pretty good, right? So we're just excited about what you can do. If you have children, you got to inspire them. You got to motivate them that this business works. Karma and Daniel have motivated their kids. They know this business works, but they might take a different route. And it's okay if they decide to go a different route and then come back, because I guarantee you there's going to be a day where they're going to come back if they're not already in, right? Because what happens is they go to a job and they see what a job is like, how you have to punch in and punch out, and they're like, oh no. But look at Hector Lamarck's kids. They love what they do. They're super successful at what they do. His son owns his own business. His daughter's a writer and writes for like Disney. So it's phenomenal, and that's okay. Every journey and every person's journey is okay. But man, to have your kids in Primerica is phenomenal. This is a true family business, and Sarah and Lanai, I know they'll take the contract this month or the beginning of next month. And they're going to kick ass. If they can write 80 grand as a division leader and go over 50, 60 grand in 7 months, they're going to do great things, and we're just excited about that, excited for all of your success, and be okay with the toughness, because the toughness is only going to make you tougher, is only going to make you want to win. And if you get sick and tired of us being tough, then go kick ass and we won't be tough. I mean, we might sometimes, but I promise you what can I tell my son Juan if he kicks ass and is writing 20, 30 grand on his personal pen and has another division writing 10 to 15? Honestly, can I get mad at him? No. But if I have a meeting at 8 a.m. and my division gets on at 8:30, she's going to freaking get it. That's the truth. So if you're doing all the right things, all we're going to do is inspire you and push you up. But if you're not, we got to correct you. And we got to make sure that we do that so that you get back on the right track. Because right now, Zoom is phenomenal, but it can be also a deadly weapon because you could get lazy. So what I tell our team is, do what all leaders that are successful. They get up early. They work out. If you want to have their life, get up early. If you can't work out and you can go for a little walk, even if you have your little cover, put it on. Who cares? Go for a walk, a 20, 30-minute walk, to feel healthy, to feel good. And then from there, get home, shower, look good, be presentable, be ready to start your day. Because if you guys are smart, you're going to get on a Zoom call every 30 minutes. And that's how it works. I don't want to step on toes, but I want you, Daniel or Karma, do you guys want me to share that plan A, plan B really quick? It's so freaking easy that somebody that is not that good can get good by sharing this. So let me get on. I'm going to have to share my screen, but let me get it out of, so it's ready. I'm going to get on. Okay, there it is. Oh, God. I'm going to get on my keynotes so I can share it with you guys. And it's so freaking simple. You guys are going to laugh. Open. So I have a bunch of stuff. Let me get the one I need. Give me a second. And I stole this from another SNSD. I was on a call that I spoke for, and they said, we can't share this with anybody outside of our hierarchy. And I was on there and I freaking wrote notes and I said, well, we're going to freaking have this. Can't find it. Hold on. Let me see.
Well, I just want to say, Myrna, this is absolutely incredible. I mean, I believe the difference between the winners and the losers in Primerica is just so small. It's just a small little amount of separation. You know, it's like a decision. You know, you make a decision, you come in and you get tough and you get moving and you start writing 10 grand. I mean, let me tell you something. I mean, me and Neil, their uplines, some of you guys might know this or might not. I mean, me and Neil were, you know, best buddies for,
Yes.
I can't tell you how long. I mean, you know, we grew up in the business together. I think we got our green jackets together. I mean, I think he's maybe, you know, 2 or 3 years ahead of me of getting started, but we've always been really, really good friends. And it's awesome to hear Myrna speak because she sounds like them. You know what I mean? It's like you sound like your uplines. You know, you just tell how coachable they are because they sound like their uplines. And I think that's a really it's like what am I trying to say? It's like it's an honor for them to sound like their uplines. Yes. Because I think that, but that's why they're so successful, is because they were so coachable, so on it, so focused, so, you know, and it was a thing that we talked about forever. We talked about 10 grand. We were 10 grand guys, man. I mean, anybody that you see in Primerica that at one point, I'm not saying you have to write 10,000 for the rest of your life, but at one point, if you don't decide that you're going to be a $10,000 a month personal producer, you're making a giant mistake. I mean, if you can't write premium, then you better be talking to somebody every day on how you could write more premium, right? I mean, because that's how you make money. And nobody's going to follow you if you can't make money. And so, anyways, go ahead. Did you find it, Myrna?
Yeah, I found it. But
okay.
You're going to have to give me access to share the screen.
Okay. All right. So
Okay,
how do I give access?
You know that.
Russ, how do I give access, Russ?
Somebody help us. That's
all
like
right.
You click on participants, coach. Click on participants.
Okay. All right.
Find Myrna, and then
okay.
it should be one of the options there to give her a co-host.
Make host. Okay. All right. There you go, Myrna. I think you can do it now.
So you know that it's crazy, but it's true. If you know how to write 10 grand and you're an RVP, you're going to make money. You're never going to struggle. I have RVPs that have made a decision to want to just be RVPs, and they write 10 grand and make 10 grand. And in Arizona, that's like 20 grand in California because it's way less expensive out here. So that's the reality. But if you don't ever learn it, you go RVP, you're going to struggle, and it's not fair. It's not fair for you. It's not fair for your family. So you guys got to really focus on taking your businesses to that next level. So this is the plan A, plan B. Super freaking simple. So let's just say I'm going to talk to Karma and Daniel, and I'm going to ask them, and you guys are going to say you're 30, but you know, you could say whatever you want. So the first thing I'm going to do is if I meet Karma at the store, I'm going to call Karma, or if I got referred to her, and I'm going to say, hey, Karma, how's it going? This is Myrna. Let's say I was referred to you by Russell, and he's your great friend, and they told me so many great things about you, and I wanted to share some information that can definitely benefit you. Do you have time for us to get on a Zoom call maybe in the next 10 minutes or 30 minutes? When would you be available? Karma, you want to kind of hop on and tell me?
Yeah, I could do it in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Perfect. So in 20 minutes, we'll get on. I'll be ready. I'm going to send you the Zoom information so we can get on. So boom, 20 minutes go by, we get on. And the first thing I'm going to say is, Karma, thank you so much for getting on. You know, Russell said so many great things about you and your family, said you have a phenomenal husband, that, you know, you guys are very hardworking and just love each other and have 2 young children. And the reality is that that's the type of people we're looking for, just hungry and hardworking. So the first thing I want to ask you, Karma, is who do you currently bank with?
Chase.
Okay. And do you know what Chase is doing with your money? Do you have any idea what they do with it?
No.
Okay, most of us don't. When I started this business, I had no idea what Chase did with our money. But let's just say you and Daniel were able to save $50 a week, which is $200 a month. And you guys are age 30 years of age. So then this is where I'll go right into the plan. So I'll show this before I'm kind of face to face, getting to know them. You can ask them more questions. You guys do what you guys put your own touch to this, right? And then, so $50 a week, Karma, from age 30 to 60 years of age. If you just put it in a savings at the bank, you're going to have $76,000. Do you think, Karma, you're going to be able to retire with $76,000 in 30 years?
No way.
Absolutely not. And because of inflation, the value of that money is going to be about $50,000. So it's kind of scary. So what we do is we're going to go to a plan B, and I let them see it on the screen, right? The plan B is our company. The same $50 a week of savings from the age of 30 to the age of 60. Our goal is to protect a family at $150,000 each of insurance, $15,000 on their children for $60 a month. The other $140, we're going to invest it. And this one is SHRAX. Okay, it's SHRAX. It's a ClearBridge Aggressive Growth Fund. It's a great fund if you guys want to look at it. It's $140 invested. We'll give you $265,000. So Karma, what plan looks like a better plan for you? Plan A or plan B?
B.
B. So out of 10 families that you know, Karma, do you feel they should know this information? Yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely, right? You know, and I kind of want to share, when I started Karma, I was very skeptical, super scared, didn't know if I can do this. But I also understood that the plan A, everybody was in, and that we needed to educate families on going from plan A to plan B. And that's, you know, I was scared and I was skeptical, but I wasn't stupid. So I made a choice of, I better do this, because if I can change my life, why not? And you know, Karma, if you educate 10 families how to move from plan A to plan B, you can get a bonus up to $3,000 if I do the right job with you. Isn't that crazy? Could you imagine just in a week or two making a bonus of $3,000?
That's so cool.
So the only thing is obviously, to be able to help families in this way, you have to get licensed with the state. So you can do it two ways. You can go directly with the state, and it's going to cost you anywhere from $800 to $1,000 to get licensed. Or you can do it with us, and it's $74. And that $74 is $49 for the state and $25 for your Primerica Online. And that's every month. But your first cost would be $74. But the goal is for you to make money right away, and that $25 is no big deal a month. So would you rather do it yourself or go through us, Karma?
I'd rather go with you, Myrna.
Perfect. You know what? I'm going to get the application going right now. I'm going to share it with you, and we're going to start your application for the business. And I am so excited. I can't wait to meet Daniel and really build a phenomenal relationship with you guys. I just with your vibes, I know that we're going to hit it off and we're going to have a ton of success together. So I'm excited. And I have, obviously, let's say I do the app now, and then I'm going to ask you, Karma, do you guys have life insurance right now?
Yeah, through work.
Who do you have the insurance with?
It's through work.
Through work, okay. And do you know how insurance through work works?
No, they just take it out of my check every week.
And that's all of us. You know, I had insurance through work. My sister passed away in a car accident and had insurance through work as well. And it was an accidental policy. She died at age 35 years old in a car accident, but died at the hospital 2 days after her accident. And they did not pay because the policy said she needed to die in the car with her head chopped off. Isn't that freaking scary?
Wow.
And, you know, and the reality also, what happens is that, do you plan on being at your job forever?
No.
Okay. So one of the things that's really crucial is for you to have, just like the rich, they have everything independent outside of their job. So that's what we want to teach you guys. We want to teach you how to become independent and how to have your own stuff, how to think like the rich do, so we can be successful like the rich are. Isn't that awesome?
That's great.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a quote. And in my presentation, I have two things. One, let's see if it comes up. And obviously, you got to have, one is this. I have a hypothetical. So what I'm doing is I'm showing them that this is true. From 1990 to 2020, so those 30 years, Karma, If you were to save that $140, it's $50,400 that you're saving, but you're going to have $265,000. So I was honest in what I told you. And there's ups and downs in the market, but through those ups and downs, this fund has done over a 9% rate of return. So that's, and the reason I'm showing you this is that you see that I'm not lying, because one thing is for us to say it and another for it to be true. So this is why I did this. And the other thing is a quote. Here's a quote. And obviously if they're not 30, do their quote. Get online and do their quote and help them out. So client age 30, non-tobacco. This is just a simple term now, 30-year product, $150,000 for each of you. 15,000 on the kids is 5972. So it's amazing what we're able to do, and we can help people. I'm going to stop sharing, but we can help people get insured right away and help them with their investments. You guys know that we can also, like, if you're not investment licensed, you can call the person that's licensed and say, hey, can you get on a Zoom so you can do the investments for my client? So now we're like, yesterday I did 3 investments for clients that closed the life sale, and now they don't have to come to the office. We don't got to wait a month. Some of them need to wait a month before they start, but I start them up and then I go from there. So that's the idea. So was that simple? It's like simple, stupid, right? So we're excited for all of you. I hope that does help. And, if some of you implement it, there's people that had never done 30 by 30 and are doing 30 by 30 just by sharing this plan A. Plan B. So whatever works, we got to freaking implement it. I want to be, I want to be like the Naranjos, right? Freaking 300 recruits and 200,000 and jumping diamonds like crazy. And that's who does all this. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Come on, teach me. And, I'm on a call and I'm like, all right, you're not teaching me, but I'm getting these notes down, right? So I'm excited. Thank you guys.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Oops, sorry. So
Okay,
I don't want to take any more of your guys this time. I appreciate you guys.
Myrna,
yes.
Myrna, I just want to say, can you send that slide to us so that way we can send it out to everybody?
Okay.
This is just the magic of keeping it simple. This is the magic of like you get on and you have a short conversation. How long does your presentation last? Like from start to finish?
Maybe 15,
what would you say?
15, 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes and you get a yes or a no. Are you getting a lot of objections, and what type of objections are you getting if you're getting it?
You know what? The ones we've done, one objection, I don't have the money. And there's nothing we can do about that. But, and we tell them, you know what? Are you truly interested? Yes, I am. Okay, can you find the money? So they'll tell us, okay, let's get back on a Zoom call in the next 2 to 3 days or what have you. And or they get paid in 2 days or what have you. But we really are not getting any objections. And if you do get them, overcome them. Okay,
and next question, how many codes do you have in your base right now? How many codes?
You know that it's so funny. I don't have a ton of codes. I've got about 150 codes in my base and 250 in the hierarchy. So
but that's a lot. I mean, but the base is a lot. I mean, you got a lot of codes in the base. And so I just want to remind everybody, because again, this is important because, again, we're trying to squeeze everything out of like, a very limited amount of people.
Yes.
And so there's got to be massive amounts of recruiting, but then we have to turn it, right, Nelsa? We got to turn all of these recruits that are coming in. If we don't turn them into codes, we're in trouble, right? We cannot get big. We're not going to make $600,000 a year with 30 code numbers. No. Right? I mean, you can't do that. You're going to do that with 250 codes, 300 codes. And you guys do a phenomenal job, because with the limited amount of codes that you have, you're maximizing everything. But I just want to remind all of the RVPs that are on right now, you have to have an emphasis where people come in, man, we got to get these people licensed. So every month as an RVP, you should be focused on getting a personal code. I think that's important, right? Personal code, but then making sure you're getting 5 to 10 new codes in your base minimum every single month. That's when everything changed for us. is when we started getting 5 to 10 codes in our base. That was not personal, in our base every month. What do you think about that, Myrna?
I agree 100%. You know, we went and spoke for the Naranjos, and we did it as a team, as our family business. So my kids got to speak as well. And the reality is that's what they emphasize on. They're like, you're going to be lopsided for a while. You might have way more recruiting than premium, but long term, that's what wins. And we were struggling with that. We were at 800 or 600,000 in income with like 70 or 80 codes in our base. And we're like, in order for us to get to 1 million or get to the next level, we have to promote codes. Now, you guys like us, we're big base shop type of people. So what's going to happen is we're going to maximize with even lesser codes. Like they might need 500 to make $1 million. You might need only 250. But the reality is that we need them. Because if we only have 20 or 30, we're going to be struggling. So if we can focus on everybody getting coded, like, you know, I've made a commitment because I need more codes. So I have a lady that I paid just to focus on coding, another lady that focuses on client relations, which is for investments, because when we all start, a lot of us are just life insurance agents and we don't do investments, and we have to do the right thing. So now I have a lady that all she does is make calls all day, you know, the hours she's there, and she's setting up investment appointments for me for clients. And that's, you know, the other thing. And then I obviously have had my office manager since I moved out here, you know, so as an RVP, I recommend you, if you can't run everything, get an office manager, get somebody that you trust, and you don't got to pay them a lot, pay a minimum wage, have them work for you 4 hours. And if you don't have a lot of work, have her do your client relations, because out of the client relations, I've recruited people. So I've recruited directs. They're focused on getting licensed, and I've started their investments. I'm like, dude, it's a win-win. And if they don't join, I'm getting referrals. So I'm getting at least 6 to 10 referrals of every client that comes in to do investments with me or on Zoom. I'm getting referrals because people don't want to refer you when it has to do just life insurance. But when you do life insurance and investments, they refer you because they like the fact that they're saving for their future. So I think that's important that you guys realize that. And that's every market, African-American, Hispanic, white, every single one of us. We want to make sure we're doing something right for clients to be able to refer. So I'm going to refer people if I have a life insurance and they help me with savings. It's like, ooh, this is good. You know, so that's, you know, that's what we got to focus on. Definitely focus on recruiting more to code more.
That's it. And I'll tell you, one of the things about your uplines that I always, and again, I don't know deep into your story, but you know, I know that they had a nanny when they were district leaders, you know, and it's like, and again, I'm not telling you to go get a nanny. I'm just saying they were never shy about investing into their business. And that's why they make what they make today, because they were willing to put in back into the business. So, you know, look, there's district leaders out there right now that are watching. You know, they're going to get a nanny. They're going to get an office manager. They're going to get somebody they pay 4 hours or something like. If you're an RVP, it is mandatory for you to have an office manager, or at least somebody in charge of codes, at least an assistant, right? Yeah. Does that make sense?
You know, we did have a nanny at district leaders, and we had an office at district leader. Our office was $600. Our nanny was $300 a week. And our rent at our mortgage was $3,000 in California. So can we afford it? No. But was it worth it? Yes. So I'm telling you, things happen. Sometimes you got to put a little pressure. So some of you that are district divisions, put pressure on yourself, because when you have money pressure, you go work. Sometimes you're so comfortable because you don't have that pressure that it's no big deal. But I promise you, pressure makes people get going. Pressure is how the coal becomes a diamond. So you guys go after it. It's worth it. You know, we were regional or division leaders and regional leaders paying over $900 of office rent with the nanny. And I promise you it was worth it, Because when we went RVP, it was easy. It was a piece of cake. We knew exactly how it was. We knew expenses and we weren't afraid of them. So don't be afraid to invest in your business. It is worth it. And you guys are going to have a ton of success. And the nanny is the best thing ever because you get home and there's food. Your house is clean. The clothes is washed. And it's like, oh my gosh, I get to spend real quality time with my kids. And when you have a job, it's not like that. You freaking run home, you grab your kids from the babysitter, you freaking have to cook and then clean, and then it's time to put them in the bath, and then boom, that's it. The day's over, go to bed. So what quality time did you really spend with your kids? So I really believe the best investment you can do is investing in your guys' business. And for you women, not to be stressed about cooking and cleaning and washing and doing all that. So I'm excited. Thank you.
I
so
love
much.
you guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. What an amazing, amazing job.